everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Community Chats. I am here with Rick Murphy. He is the owner of Computer Accountants Inc. He is actually also my dad, so I'm super excited to interview him today. His office is in Northwest Oklahoma City, but he has customers and clients all over the metro area, including Yukon. He loves the Yukon community and is excited to do this interview today to kind of tell us a little bit more about his business that he's owned for several decades now, a couple decades, and he is a wonderful asset to the community, providing great tax services and accounting services to anyone in need. So thank you for joining me today, Rick, and I'm just going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so please tell me when and how Computer Accountants was started and what has surprised you the most about owning your own business.
Well, we started Computer Accountants in 1988. Just shortly after the birth of our first child, we decided that we wanted to stay home and work on some of that, and we were able to keep my wife home, and I worked outside of the home, plus also with Computer Accountants. So we did bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, of course, started back in 1988. I've been doing taxes since 1981, so basically 40 years now, and just love it, and love doing the bookkeeping as well.
That's fantastic. That's perfect. What is something your clients love about your business that they've told you that they just love?
Oh, they like the personal interest that I take in their lives. It seems like several of them, they come by, drop off their taxes or bookkeeping. We end up chatting for 15-20 minutes about what's happened this month or what's happened this past year. And I'll ask about their children, ask about their parents or whatever that got brought up the year before. And we just try to take a personal interest in what they're doing and how we can help.
That's perfect. I love that you take the time to do that, because sometimes you don't see that as much in some businesses, and I think it really makes a difference. And you guys I know we can tell that you genuinely care about your customers and clients. So since it is almost tax season, after we get through the holiday season, it's preparing for those taxes. Again, is there anything new and exciting that your clients should know about, or anything new that they need to make sure that they're taking care of before they get to that season of life right now?
Well, this past year is the second year of the pandemic, and so they had a third stimulus check, which we'll need to know if you received that, how much you received, and so that we can reconcile it with this year's taxes. But we also have some extra credits that they've given for child tax credit, for instance, child care credit, many of which are now refundable. And so we need to get a little more information from you on that, how much you received early for the child tax credit, and then how much, if you had any new children that were born or any children that have aged out and moved away from home. That's usually the big thing, is the change in dependence. And if you had a job or two jobs or changed jobs, worked out of state, we have a big list of questions that we go through with you. And probably one of the big things that the IRS is looking at this year, besides those credits and other things that they're trying to help with, is virtual currency. And virtual currency is Bitcoin. That's the main one that goes through, and you can mine for it, you can do all sorts of trading and stuff on it, but it is a taxable event. So we need to know if you are participating in that, how much you participated in that, whether you bought, whether you sold, and so that's a big thing that the IRS is looking at this year. So that's a big question that we'll ask, that you need to find out if you have been participating in it.
Gotcha. That's good information to know. So tell us a bit about what you do outside of work.
Well, for a long time we did, probably almost 7 years, we did foster care with children. We started out, I guess you'd say, practicing foster care before that with cats. So we've always had a large presence in our house. But the foster care we did for about 7 years. Two of the girls we adopted that we had fostered, and then we had a third foster daughter that still lives with us even though she's aged out of the system. And because of all the kids and stuff that we've had over the years, we have now had our 11th grandchild. So now that's kind of taken over the foster care, is just trying to help raise the grandkids. And that keeps us busy. Other than that, we spend a lot of time at church. We've been involved in Cherokee Hills Christian Church since 1982. And so we've been there for almost 40 years now. And it's a good church, and we enjoy it, and have made a lot of friends through that.
That's great.
And but that's pretty much our two main things that we do right now.
That's fantastic. So if a young person asked you advice on how to live their life, what would you tell them?
If a young person asked me how to live their life, one of the first things I would do is be content with where you are. There's always a greener pasture to reach for, a greener grass on the other side of the fence, but be content of where God has placed you. The big thing that I see with young people now is that they leave the home and they had these things that their dad and mom have bought and have in their home. They want to have that immediately in their home. Grow it. Little step at a time, little bits at a time. Don't go into debt to try to do everything at once. I have some books at the office that I'll lend out that will help you with getting out of debt. A lot of people come out of college with a big, huge college tuition debt, and that's one of the things that you need to work on. Is to get rid of that debt, because after you get rid of the debt and stay out of debt, then you can work on actually growing towards retirement and maybe get a chance to retire early because you did it in the right steps.
That's fantastic advice. I wanted to ask that question since you are my dad, and obviously you've taught me a lot of life lessons that I've taken into my adult life as well, that have helped me and my husband and my family out, which we appreciate a lot. He mentioned the books that he has at his office, so he does have some financial books that are available as well at his office that he can provide for you if you're looking for any advice on that, or if you have any questions, you can definitely give them a call. Check out their Facebook page. They're available through that. Those links will be attached to this video, that information. So I just wanted to thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me today, talking about the upcoming tax season and about your business and how well it's going, and just all the different services that you offer your clients. We really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for coming by.
Yeah. And for our audience, thank you again so much for tuning in and checking out what Rick had to tell us today. If you have, I just wanted to let you know again that I am Karen with Porch and Cable Real Estate in Piedmont, and I just wanted to tell you thank you. And if you have a business that you'd like me to interview and check out and include on our page, just message me and we will get together. I appreciate it. Tune in next time.